Excellent. So, hello, Mel.
Hello, Joe. Thanks so much for having me.
You're
I'm very
thank
excited.
thank you for being my guest, and I loved that you didn't even hesitate.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. Part of part of my practice is community service, is service to community. So that might look like just helping somebody out if they ask me to, or that might be putting on a group ritual, or help networking a situation, or that might just be helping somebody out if they ask me. If they ask me, I say yes, even though I'm like terribly nervous about the whole thing.
Well, I'm really pleased that you said yes because one, I find you super interesting, and we're both 1976's babies, so we've got a big year.
Yeah.
We are
Okay.
we're turning that 50.
We
So,
are, we are. That's right. Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to it, Joe?
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was a bit weird about my 40s. When I turned 40, I felt a bit weird about that, but 50 seems like a good age, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, my 40s was fantastic. It was just fantastic. It was better than, of course, teen years. It was better than the 20s. It was better than the responsibility of child rearing in the 30s. And 40s was just like a cry for freedom. So it was just so fantastic. So I'm just excited about being 50.
Uh,
Um, yeah, just really pumped for it. It's going to be a fantastic decade.
well, yeah, filthy 50. That's what I'm thinking. Or fun 50, fantastic 50.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
awesome.
as you would know, I should introduce myself. I'm Joe from Red Room Reiki and Readings, and also the Wollstonecraft Legacy series, which I've now completed, which I'm super excited about. And this is my Red Room chats. So I'm getting everyone who's local. I might spread out towards all of Tasmania, but I'm keeping it extremely kind of well, I was going to say Latrobe, but that's where you're from, and well, that's where you work, and then I'm from Latrobe, so I think that's why I was going to say Latrobe. But as the others who have listened know, I like to start off with numerology for my guest. And I was really excited because you're a 33/6 in your ruling number, which means that you're the master teacher.
Mm.
And it just made so much sense, right? And six is nourishing and nourishing. And I always call six like the nurse energy, and 33, the popular kid on the block, the person who can converse with lots of people, like to be playful, like to be childlike. And then you put that together as a master teacher, and you've got somebody who not only talks the talk, but also walks the walk, which is something that I think you do absolutely. And if anything, I think that you may not stand out per se shouting to the stars and the moon and the sky that you are wonderful, but I think just the way you live your life does let other people live their life according to their belief systems. So it's not like you're, because why I'm saying that is because your day number is a number nine, and number nines, and I'm a number 9 day person as well. We can be very vocal. We can be very opinionated. We like to fix society, but I don't get the loudness from you that I would from other day nines. I actually think sometimes, I mean, you're hilarious, and
Thank you,
you're not
darling.
shy, but you're certainly not arrogant, or somebody who you can't be uh, truthful to, or somebody who, if you wanted to explain a difference of opinion, I don't think you would be so open to that.
There have been times, I guess, where I have been arrogant and I have been very vocal, but the older, I think it's age. I think it's age and wisdom that creeps in.
Yeah,
You try to bat it away, but it it just keeps rolling through. But
yeah.
yeah, I like to be able. I love people. I love people, and I love people's story. And yeah, people fascinate me. They just fascinate me. So, um, part of my journey has been to pull back on being really vocal, because I will give you advice even if you don't ask for it. Absolutely. um, but I do love to hear people's stories, and to be able to listen to somebody and to get that full range of where they're coming from, and really hear them. Then, there's a certain amount of, quiet that has to come on my end, and that's been learnt over time. So
Mm.
that's probably that part. But yeah, I've never had a shy day in my entire life. Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm always interested to hear people talk about numerology. It's not something that I've delved a lot into, although the people around me have, and they often, will crunch my numbers, as you've done. Yeah, I'm a bit scared of numbers, actually. A bit scared.
Well, for me, because there's this kind of idea that if you're a bit woo-woo, you're not logical.
Ah,
And if you look at numerology number 7, which is what I am, we sit both in the questioner, the woo-woo, the spiritual, as well as the analytical and the logical. Somewhere in history, we've decided you can't be both.
yeah.
So that's what I love about numerology. It takes gender out, it takes out biases, and it kind of says like actually you can be both. Like a number 6, like as a if you weren't a 33/6, if you were like a 24/6, sixes can be angels and they can be devils.
Ooh,
Yes. So it's
yeah,
like I can take care of you, but then if you hurt me, then I could be this devil. So I like that about numerology, that it brings in what I think more narrative to people than what we give numbers credit for. And a lot of people don't realize that it was birthed at the same time as mathematics was birthed. So, and also the idea that everything in the cosmos has a mathematical equation with it. And so therefore, why wouldn't we have that the same? So, and you know what though? Funny, it's not always people's favorite when they come to me for readings.
oh right, yeah,
No, and it's my favorite.
yeah.
So I get probably too enthusiastic about it and they're like, yeah, over it now, move on.
So what drew you to it? When did you start your practice of numerology?
Well, I've got books from when I was like 17 where I was all about it, but mum loved it. That was her. She really loved numerology, not to the depth I have dove into it. But then when I was up in Queensland in Airlie Beach, I thought, oh, I think it's time. And Joe Rolls, who lives in, do you know Joe Rolls?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, she was offering it. So I was like, do it. And do you know what? The amount it cost me, the investment it cost me to do that course, I made back in like, I don't know, 1 week.
Yeah, right.
Like, and I find that
Mm.
whenever I'm on the right track, I make money instantly back by putting my money into that course.
Yeah, okay. It's a numbers game.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And an energetic thing too, because I loved and I got it. Like
yeah,
straight away, I was like, yeah, I get this. This
yeah,
makes so much sense to me. Where if you give me a crystal ball, shit house. Like, cannot do a
yeah,
crystal ball to save myself.
yeah, yeah.
All right. But let's talk about you.
Ah,
And I'm doing you a huge injustice because I've kind of gone, let's just hone it in on plants,
okay.
one of your big passions.
Yeah,
But for people out there, I mean, you are such a well-known witch. Are you happy for me to call you a witch?
sure.
Yeah. Do you also identify as pagan or do you?
Absolutely. I always explain it to people who I deem muggles, not deem muggles, but
Yeah.
paganism is the big umbrella, and we all snuggle under it together. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, they don't know about, and I'm going to get this wrong because way back in the day, I knew it as pagans in the pub,
Yeah.
which is not what you call the group in Ulverston. What do you call the group in Ulverston?
I think we've had quite a few different quite a few different brandings over the years.
Yeah.
As it stands, I think we're pagans of the Northwest, Taz.
Yeah. And pagan, just putting that banner of
Yeah,
pagan,
yeah,
it really does invite so many different types of disciplines and belief systems to be able to
yeah,
come and congregate together. And for people who don't know, it's every is it every second Thursday?
Yeah, every second Thursday. We're the longest running group in Tasmania. We have been running since 1999.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And so it's always been in the Northwest Coast. And the reason why it was originally called Pagans in the Pub, I believe it started in South Australia and then Victoria and then Sydney and then little old Tassie as well. And we were always gathered in a pub, grab a brew, grab a feed and a chat together. But it sort of evolved to Pagans in the Park in other areas as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will be having a schedule come out very shortly, which will give our spring and summer gathering times. So yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Sometimes
I'm so slack with it. And also, not only that, you do lots of workshops after dinner.
yeah, we do from time to time. We have try and have guest speakers on when we can, or crafting, some sort of crafting, or some sort of get together, or yeah. There's so many things that have happened throughout the years. I often will run into people and they'll say, "Oh, I came when you were in Burnie at McGinty's, and I remember coming when because we've been everywhere. We get bored
Yeah.
of the menu, I think, and then we all say, right, where else can we be? We've been everywhere. We've been Cafe RA, we've been in the cheesecake shop back in the day. We were at the Mallee Grill. Do you remember the Mallee Grill? I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm still stuck on the cheesecake shop. I'm like,
I know.
how did I miss that?
It was fabulous. It was fabulous. Yeah, and
Oh,
we've been groups of 4 people and groups of 30 people. So over the years, and the whole premise behind Pagans in the Pub, Pagans in the Park, or our gathering now is just networking, just a safe public place where anyone can come and join in and
yeah.
and it's still going strong. And we've introduced a few years ago a dodgy raffle, and that is just so fun. It's where we bring our items from home and do a bit of a clean out, and then put it all on the table, and then we all take each other's crap home. It's great.
And I
People get
think
so
I pretty much brought some crap home in my time too. But I've
absolutely.
enjoyed all the crap I brought back.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. And you can see the books, kind of, you can see your one book that you put on the table, or your pack of oracle or tarot cards. You can see it go, it could see it bounce back, and then it go to another person and then bounce back, and then it'll
Yeah.
go to somebody and never be
And,
seen again.
and look, I honestly love the idea of sharing books and sharing just other stuff too, like, old tarots or whatever, because
Yeah,
just because you've worn out of the energy with it doesn't mean it's not going to bring someone else a whole new light in that
absolutely.
space.
Absolutely. And there's so much that we have, in our homes that can be utilized by others.
Mm.
We tend to generalize in here. We tend to hang on to everything and be this accumulative sort
Mm.
of person,
Yeah,
especially in the pagan world,
I know.
especially if you're witchy at all. I mean, we're already collecting from nature like
Yes.
crows. But it's really easy to fall into that consumerist loop. Yeah.
Mm.
And
Well,
so it is so good to clear out. It clears out your own personal energy.
yeah.
If your space is clear, my space is never clear, but if your space is clear, energy flows. So, and a big
Yeah.
part of that is letting go of items. And if you let go of items, more items can come in.
I know. That's it. Well, and talking about the feng shui episode that we did, absolutely. It's like clear it and make room. I remember when I was properly like ready to meet somebody, and I thought, I've got to go into my wardrobe and I need to make space for this person. And because I'd been a single girl and celebrated as a single girl for so long, everyone, because I'm surrounded by artists, and they would just paint me as a single girl, powerful but single. And I said to them, can you stop doing that? Because you're manifesting me forever as single. So once I told all the artists to stop doing that and I made room, then Marcus came into my life. And I was like,
Beautiful.
well, I didn't have any room for him.
Yeah.
So it works. I mean, energy really does work. Now, because I'm like, we are both witches and we just love it so hard, but you know so much more about plants and herbs than I do. So this is where I want to like deep dive with you. One, if you could share like how did you become a witch? Were you born a witch? And also then why is it so much about plants?
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I would say I had a really good foundation at home, in the home. My parents both travelled a lot overseas and knew a lot about different cultures, had spent time with people from different cultures. They were seasoned travellers, so they were very likely to be more open to other other cultures, other ideas, and that's a really healthy, in my experience, a really healthy childhood and a really great place to start
Yeah.
exploring and start bringing it in. And I guess my first little taste into witchcraft came from reading the Earth's Children series.
Oh.
Have you ever read that one? So that's Clan of the Cave Bear, Valley of Horses. You've never read that series?
No, and now I feel like that's on my to-do list.
Oh, it really is. It really is, and it's so old, Joe. This author brought out a book every decade, and I think there are 5 in the series, but 4 that I really loved. And it's the story of a young girl who lived in Cape Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon times, and it's I started drinking herbal teas because this main character grew up as a medicine woman, and she was
Oh.
drinking, and I would have been, I don't know, like 14, I reckon. And I was reading these monstrous, heavy sex scenes. It was fabulous. But she was a medicine woman, and she, drank a lot of herbal teas, as they would have done, and
Yeah.
that got me into it. So there I am, and I'm in the supermarket, and my mum's like, "Oh, have we got so many hippie teas?" And I'm brewing them up. And I remember making my first little amulet, and she had a piece of ochre, and she had bones and
Oh,
stones and special things that were made. And I made myself an amulet, and I didn't have any ochre. So I just got a piece of like a really pretty bit of quartz out of the driveway, and I didn't have any bones, but I put like a wishbone from a chicken.
yep. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I remember it. And I was so proud, I was so proud of this. And, I was going to be a medicine woman, and, I was going to be this resilient character,
Yeah.
who was, you know, who was in charge, and intentional.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's
Oh,
kind of what kicked me off from a very young age.
I love that, what you just said, intentional. It kicked me off living an intentional life.
Yeah.
That's quite profound for 30, which is 14.
Yeah. 14.
Yeah, it's really profound.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So that was my first, and my parents too, like, part of that beautiful foundation that they offered, was we lived in the country, and they were both very passionate gardeners. So,
Uh-huh.
so that's part of it. And if I wanted to start drinking teas and wearing an amulet around my neck with a chicken bone in it, they were more than happy. They were like, well, this is what she's doing now.
It's a strange thing with the whole. Uh, we don't, as witches, talk much. Well, I don't run around telling people that I've got dead birds in my freezer and that I have my cat's skull in my workroom. Now, I have now, and then also I'm drying goat skin at the moment
Ooh.
underneath my heat pump. So it's like for other people, they go, "Oh, that's a bit Ed Gein." Or Jeffrey Gart, they'd go, oh, that's a bit weird. But for
Mm.
us, because it's just, well, look, at the end of the day, there's so many different types of witches out there that we could get all mixed in. But for us, it's not weird for us to wear bones or to have bones around us. For
Um,
me, it's about connecting to the spirit realm, to which I believe are still there. And so I don't quite have that, like, oh, that's the bone of my cat that should be elsewhere. I love that my familiar of 18 years, I have her skull, and she is here with me always. Do you have, like,
makes
from
perfect
that
sense to
one
me.
one bone that you had, have you still got more now?
Oh, of
Yeah.
course, many, 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 and people bring them to me all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with death. I think in our society, in our our white culture, um, we're frightened of death. You
Mm,
know, we don't. We see it as and it's that Christian part. I think
mm,
that separates the time that we have, that we're living on this earth, and then it's a scary separate. What
yeah.
happens next is
Yeah.
full of fear of what happens next,
Mm.
um,
Well,
and and we just things that smell bad, that decay, that
mm.
compost down, things that have passed its time. Um, you know, and I mean, that's very reflective. If we're frightened of that, if we've got a lot of fear of that,
Mm.
well, you've probably got a big fear of growing old.
Yeah, true.
You've probably got a big fear of the elderly,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
So,
feel a connection to things that have passed.
yeah, same. And I mean, one of my favorite kind of, like, evenings of the year is, and I'm going to say it wrong because I've got the camera on me. I'm going to say Selwyn, and that's not correct, is it?
Well, it's however you would like to say it. I think there's lots of different ways of saying it. Samhain. That's how I say it.
Oh, you
Samhain.
say it's Selwyn, yes.
Samhain.
Which
Yeah.
is, like, in other terms, Halloween.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for the kids, I mean, a few years ago, the kids came over and said, "Look, because it's the veil is thin tonight. Let's set a plate for Mum who's passed over." And the kids were right into it. Like, I said, "Oh, let's send someone who's passed over a little message." And my daughter, who's like doesn't believe, like, both children, Cohen wants to believe, but he doesn't. He's very much like, I can't prove it scientifically, so I don't believe it. And my daughter is too scared to believe it. Like, that
Okay.
there's all this kind of stuff out there. But she sent a message to our dog that we lost. She goes, because she used to have upset tummies like I do. And we all just laughed and laughed and laughed because she was just trying to be funny. But yeah, I wish that we would bring more of these. I mean, Halloween's fun, don't get me wrong. I don't mind that we all dress up and scare children. I think that's fun. But I wish we did do more to honor the dead.
Absolutely. I would almost say they're two different festivals, Joe. I would say there's Samhain,
Mm.
okay, which is on the first of May. It's an autumn, end of summer celebration.
Yep.
Um, End of summer celebration, a descent into winter. Whereas Halloween, super fun, super commercialized, lots of dressing up, lots of drinking. If you're an adult, lots of candy, lots of lollies, and you trick or treating, or like those shops like the Reject Shop and Kmart and things like that, just go nuts with it. And you can grab some heaps cool things.
Yeah.
And I buy them in October,
Yeah.
in Halloween, in the middle of spring, mind you. We're in the middle of spring, and we're buying plastic pumpkins and things like that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
But I can get on board with the fun of it. But I do buy a few bits and bobs from
Mm.
that, hold on to it for 6 months, and then bring it out when it's sour and proper.
Yeah.
And it is a celebration of the dead, and it is an acknowledgement of those who have passed, and it is an ancestral
Mm.
celebration.
Yeah.
So that would be the time for me. Samhain looks like, there's a lot of planning that goes into it for me, and there's a lot
Yeah.
of hype that goes into it for me personally. And I'm thinking about, those people that have passed within the year,
Mm,
that I've lost. I'm thinking of those, those animals that we have in our life that we share our lives with. I'm thinking of those that have passed.
mm-hmm.
And then I think of friends that have passed and family that have passed. And then I go right back and all of those ancestors. We're standing on the shoulders of people that have survived droughts, survived plagues, survived disease. We've traveled across seas
Mm.
to be here. Like, it's a miracle we're here. It really is.
It does. And I think everybody needs to acknowledge just the magic of the fact that we are here and that as a human society that we've survived
Absolutely.
through ice ages and all the rest of it. And yeah,
Yeah.
it is actually quite an honor, really.
Yeah. There
Absolutely.
is a hell of a
So,
lot of decorating that goes into my house
yes,
for
yes,
these
because your
for
house
these
is so
festivals.
glorious. It's such a warm home, isn't it? When you walk in, you just feel at home. Well, I do. It's just, yeah, full of love and full of, I think, wisdom. A lot of wisdom's there. And also, like getting back to, say, modern witchcraft, I mean, we could say that we are the modern witches of our time. Your sister's also gone down the same path. So, were your family more inclined to go this way, or were it just you two sisters went, yeah, this resonates with us better?
Yeah, the second, like I said, of the beautiful childhood that we had, and the open and the ability to accept other cultures and other ideas. That was always there. But yeah, we didn't really step on the path. My sister and I absolutely together, everything always, in sync and together. She's 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And she was going through quite an interesting and challenging time in her high school years, as most do. And
Mm-hmm.
it was at that time that she wanted to explore further into the realms of paganism, into the realms of witchcraft,
Yeah.
and from there we took the journey together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we bought a witchcraft magazine, and and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. No, not a lot of internet around back then, and
No.
yeah, in 1999, we attended the Australian Wiccan Conference, which is held in a different state every year at the spring equinox,
Yeah.
and this year when we opened up the magazine, there was a tiny, tiny little article about it. The AWC, the Australian Wiccan Conference, this year is going to be held in Tasmania.
Ah.
Call this number if you would like to come. And we did. And we
Yeah.
did. My sister at the time was 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And she to attend, you needed to have somebody over 18 with you. And so we were just like, let's do it. Let's do
Well,
it.
that was handy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And at that conference, which went for 3 days, I attended a herbal gardening. I think it was herbal gardening, or something along those lines, workshop, and I was hooked. I was hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. So, so what was it? The gardening?
It was a herbal gardening, or herbalism. Oh,
Can
for
you remember
witches.
who taught it?
Ooh, I would probably have it written in a journal somewhere.
Yeah.
But she was fabulous. She was fabulous. She was a very hands-on gardener, and
Oh, love it.
hands-on Wiccan priestess, and she
Oh.
was just had some great stories, and I was just right there with her, and I was like, yeah. And we often laugh about it. My sister Jess and I, we often laugh, and she was like, ever since you went to that, you've just been mad for plants. Ever since, like planning, I'm like, yeah, it's just so exciting.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
just so exciting. It just opened up, and it made me remember, all of the things that I've read in the books, those first 4 books that I read all those years ago. And I'm like, the plants were the same. They were all European plants.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? Yeah, so it was so exciting, and then I've never not had a herb garden since.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, I love a good herb garden. Not because I'm not a cook. I don't like cooking. I cook big for to live, basically. But I have a herb garden, one because I love the look of flowers. I love bees. I love the smell. I love using them in spells. That's what I really love to have for them. So are you cooking with your herbs, or using spells for your herbs?
I am everything with my herbs, Joe.
Yeah.
I am everything with my herbs. Yeah, absolutely cooking. For me, being in the garden is a direct link to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Yes.
my herb garden is the heart of my garden, of my outside space, and my kitchen is the heart of my home. And
Yeah.
those two things are very linked. Very, yeah, very linked. I love to grow things, and I just adore food. So a lot of a lot of my herbs are used in the kitchen, but that would be probably a very small percentage would be able to be used in the kitchen as a culinary herb
Mm.
compared to the amount that would be used in a medicinal and um, and like witchcraft based way. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. So there's a lot there. There's a lot to. I got a lot of poisonous plants in my garden. What you've got some fun.
A little evil laugh from us, cackle, cackle, cackle.
Absolutely,
And that talks
absolutely.
about plant wisdom too, doesn't it? Because you need to know your plants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
100%. There's nothing more that's closer to my heart than perennials, those beautiful herbs. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
Yeah.
my knowledge of Tasmanian native plants is slowly building as well. So that's something that I'm slowly building on too. But yeah, I use my herbs um, um, definitely um, definitely in the kitchen, definitely medicinally, definitely for the crafting of magic and spell work, absolutely. And those beautiful festivals that I love to celebrate, which I think would probably be my strong suit,
Hmm.
my strong suit.
Yeah.
Those feast days, would that's where your herbal magic comes into it, and foraging too. Like, I just can't get enough of foraging. This garden, this 2 acres here, is not enough for me. I
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
I need more. I'm intense forager as well, so I love to gather, gather from elsewhere. I
Well,
can't
and I
stop
see
gathering.
I see that in everything that you do, that you gather, because out at Forth, what was that festival called? The Forth Festival.
Yeah. I've had so many out there. We've
Yeah.
been
Oh, well, it just any of them then that you've had out
oh
there. I always thought it was the same time of year that you did
yeah,
it.
I will. Usually it's Harvest Festival,
Oh, the
so that's
harvest. Yeah.
that's Lunasa. That's celebrating that beautiful summer festival, the first harvests of grain. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's fantastic. Yeah, but we've had so many out there. But yeah, that's what that one probably would have been if it was around February.
Yeah. And
Yep.
why do you choose that space in Forth? Because I always quite wonder if people are drawn to the location for other reasons than just the fact that it's got a big kitchen, it's got a good space, you've got sleeping quarters. Are
Yep.
you drawn to that area?
It is beautiful. It is beautiful area
Mm,
there. Like, it's just gorgeous. And just as you drive through the gates to access the property, your mobile phone reception just fades away beautifully. Like, it's so
hmm.
good. But what initially drew us to that place is because it was just so affordable.
Yeah.
It could house all the people that we needed. It had the outside space. You were allowed to light a fire, which is like super important. I have done very, very, very minimal rituals inside in my life. I would say 98% of them have been done outside. So,
Yes.
and a fire is a really important element in that. there must be a fire of some
There must
description.
be, yeah, absolutely.
Unless there's like a total fire ban or something like that. But like we make a lot of candles, happen in
Mm,
that space then. But yeah, it's just in Tasmania, it's really tricky if you're putting on a some sort of an event and you want that event to go overnight. It's quite tricky to find somewhere that's going to be affordable.
yeah.
A lot of the beautiful places, are probably not going to welcome pagan people there because they perhaps might be of a different faith, maybe, and
Mm,
they might not be interested in having, which is fine.
yeah.
So yeah, we utilize scout camps a lot. We've stayed in a lot of scout camps in Tassie, and they are just really affordable and really welcoming,
Yeah, and that's the big
to
thing.
us.
They don't understand witchcraft at all. And there's so many different elements of it. It'd be great to strike up a conversation for people. I suppose we're doing that now. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't think we look
absolutely.
terribly scary, but for other people we might. But because your day job is working with plants, but before we get on to that, I wanted to say, what would your absolute go-to? What's your favorite herb that you love to cook with?
Joe, favorite. How could
How
how
can
could I
there
have
be
a
one?
favorite? I have so many. I have so many. Today, I went to a friend's place and we had a herbal tea and it had lady's mantle in it. And
Oh.
lady's mantle is really awesome for women. It's a woman's herb,
Mhm.
especially if she is going through one of her changes, like perimenopause, for instance.
Mhm.
Lady's mantle in small amounts can really beneficial, really beneficial.
Yeah. And so yeah, there's so much knowledge that you could be sharing. Have you thought about doing workshops for us to come and learn all about herbs?
I'm very careful, Joe, because am not a
Mm,
I am not a medical herbalist, and I
mhm.
people do come to me, and I immediately send them off to people who are accredited.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have some accreditation. I have some, but not enough to be teaching. I can
Yeah.
teach people. I've taught plenty of like magical ways of utilizing herbs, because there are so many ways of using herbs and plants and trees and bark and flowers and pine cones and everything like that. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, there's just it's endless what you can do. Like, I'm a crazy decorator. There's so much crafting that can be done.
Yeah.
You can be making mulled wine, you can be making herbal teas, you can
And
be
and
this.
you make really good mulled wine, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, there's so much you can do, and there's so much that can be learned and can be shared. There's
Mhm.
a lot, but I'm not going to put my hand up and teach anybody about medical herbalism, because I'm not accredited. But there are wonderful people in Tasmania who are, and I shepherd them off
Yeah.
to those people. But yeah,
I quite
absolutely.
often say, like, just be honest about where you're at with your education and your knowledge. So, like what you just did then, it's like, oh, well, I actually know a whole lot, but I'm not technically certified, which is, we're also red taped now and everything has to have, we've got to have certificates on the walls. And I get that that's an important thing to make sure there isn't charlatans out there. But I always think too, a wealth of knowledge. I mean, not saying you've got to go ahead and do any teaching, but you are definitely a wealth of knowledge. And you could just say, well, this is what I found.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. If someone's
Yeah,
got a health concern, that's probably where I was coming from, Joe, when you were saying
yeah,
teaching. I was like,
yeah.
coming from a health perspective. It's such a huge topic. It's just
Mm,
massive. Yeah, so I would feel much more comfortable, um,
yeah.
you know, pointing someone in the right direction to
Direction.
somebody that I know personally. It's someone I've worked with, someone I've gone to their workshops with, and I know that they are spot on with what they know,
Yeah.
um, and send them that way. But if somebody, was to come, was to approach me, I could say, well, I know 500 books.
And have a look at all of them.
And come around to my garden, and I will gift you. I'm often gifting people plants, or if they just want the herbs themselves,
And this is,
absolutely.
well, part of being a witch or a pagan is living with the cycles, and plants are such, well, part of that cycle, aren't they? I mean, there's people that will kill plants inside and they say, I can't have a plant inside. I'm not sure that they could actually have a plant outside either. Because I just feel like some people just kill plants and other people, the plants thrive. Do you think there's an energetic correspondence with that?
The people who come to me and say, yeah, perhaps, but the people who come to me and they say, I kill every house plant. Okay, every single plant that I have ever been given or have bought has died a terrible, lingering, slow death. Usually what I get from them straight away is they are treating their plants like decor.
Yeah.
In their home. That's what they're doing. They're buying beautiful plants and they're putting them, and treating them like a pillow or a throw rug.
Yeah.
And a plant is a living thing.
Mm.
It's a living thing that has needs. And that you need to keep something alive. We need to pay attention to it.
Mm.
Okay, we need to be in balance with it. We need to understand it. Where did this philodendron come from?
Mm.
Where in the world did it come from? And it's probably coming from somebody somewhere closer to the equator.
Yeah.
Somewhere where they have torrential rains, where they have a monsoon come through, and then they have nothing for weeks and weeks and weeks. Yet we're walking around giving our indoor plants a little drink and a little drink and a little bit of love and a little bit of love.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a matter of understanding and that give and take. You want this beautiful plant in your home and you want it to thrive, and you want that.
Yeah.
You have to understand this plant, its origins, and what it requires. It is not a pillow or a cushion. I can get very passionate about this. You're getting a bit of a lecture now, Joe.
I almost wish I didn't have these banners behind me to show you how thriving my plants are behind me. And they're the happiest they've ever been. I always, if there's a plant in our house that starts to look a bit like meh, I bring it up to my Reiki room and it seems to thrive a lot stronger in here. But it also gets really early morning because I don't have I keep the light coming through. So there's no shade or anything on the window. So in the morning, they get the sunlight really early. And I sometimes wonder if that's part of their healing. Because the other plants I've got that are thriving are also in a bay window where they get a lot of heat all day. And so I've got all those ones that love heat and they're just growing like crazy but I've got what I call my moody plant, and it's a peace plant, and bug it if I know where it wants to be. And I talk to her and I say, look, honestly, you're such a drama queen, because like she instantly goes, oh, like this if she's not happy.
Yes.
And so I maybe need you to give me some like a little bit of information about that at some stage. Not today, but I'll be on like, how can I make my peace plant happy?
She comes from a family of drama queens. Don't you worry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because she feels like a drama. Like she's like, oh.
Yeah, they do that. Ridiculous.
Yeah. And my favorite is my fly trap.
Oh, right. Venus flytraps. Yeah.
Oh, I love her. Yeah. I love that she goes. And that's, I think, when you know a plant is real. Like, what you said, it's alive. It's a living thing. But at least when you see a Venus, she moves. Like you go like this and she goes, heh, like that. And so it's almost like she's communicating with me, even if it's just a reflex. It's like a reflux of like this.
Yeah, they're fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah. We've got, when Marcus moved in, he came with 99 plants.
Holy hell. Okay.
Yeah, it was too much.
Mm-hmm.
It took a lot of sunlight from the house.
Right.
And which I never thought, I would never believe that too many plants can actually be detrimental to your health.
Right.
Yeah, and it created a lot of moisture in the house as well.
Yeah.
So we've downsized.
Oh
Still
no.
a lot of plants,
Yeah.
but a lot that because he treats them like his babies, and I'm a bit more tough. I'm kind of like, well, let's see what they're made of. And so any that I
Tough
thought
love.
could live outside, I put outside.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, they'll survive or they won't, and they have survived.
Yeah.
But the house is a lot happier for it, not having a jungle inside. Well, actually, let me reframe. I'm a lot happier.
You're a lot happier. Right. Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
You're
My
welcome.
children often think I should just move outside. They're like, we
Yeah.
don't understand why. One, you don't have a tripper system, and two, you don't just live outside. And I'm like, if we were in warmer weather, children,
Oh,
I would.
oh yes, absolutely. I get it. I would live out. I mean, I love nothing better than walking through nature, particularly in Tasmania because of all the beautiful rainforests that we have. I mean, it's just glorious here. I mean, this is the reason people come to Tasmania to do bushwalking. One of the questions too, with your work, is there like so people know that you work with plants.
Mhm.
Do you do you have to take out your passion to do your everyday job?
To a degree. I probably should take it out a lot more than I do, but I'm close to 50 now and I just don't have a lot of a filter.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of filter. Why am I still employed? I am not sure. Yeah. I try in a short amount of time to educate people.
Hmm.
I try to educate, but yeah, sometimes I am in a war when
Yeah.
I'm at work because my job is to sell.
Yeah.
My job is to sell. And oftentimes I'll find myself saying, you don't need any of these products. Please go home and see what you have and what you can use at
Yeah.
home in your shed. Why
Yeah.
am I still employed, Joe? I don't know why.
Well, that's well, this is what I was worried about because I thought there'd be such a kind of like there because it's retail, but on
Yes,
the other side, it's your absolute passion. And so you would want to go in there and give people your info, like all this wealth of knowledge that you know. And also, I feel like the question would be, say, with a young single man, he doesn't spend a lot of time at home, but he'd like a plant.
yeah, sure.
Like, what would be the best plant for him?
Yeah, absolutely. I get a lot of that all the time. I
Yeah,
get a lot of people coming in, first time gardeners, or, I just ask a lot of questions and I try and find the story there, the
yeah.
why, the
Hmm.
why. And once we get there, then, a small amount of education if it's required. But by the time you ask 10 questions of a person, you've got a pretty good idea of where they're coming from.
Yeah,
And well, I do. I feel like I've got a good idea of where they're coming from, and I've got a good idea of either where they've gone wrong in the garden, or
yeah,
they're disappointed with what's happened,
yeah,
and why that is. And then I can come in and try and point them into the direction of more bulletproof
yeah.
plants.
And do you think, because I quite often like to go to nurseries where it's in the same location as where I live, because I have a theory that plants that grow here will grow more successfully at home in my garden because it's where they come from.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course, if I've got somebody who's new to the area and they come in and say, "What should I grow?" and I say to them, put your sneakers on and go for a walk around your neighborhood and see what you like and what's thriving. And if your neighbor's got it and it's thriving or it's on your street,
yeah,
then it's going to survive. It's going to look lush, it's going to look healthy, it's going to thrive, and you're going to have success and you're going to feel like a good gardener.
yes.
Yeah.
And one thing,
Whereas, mm,
one of the biggest things you ever said to me was about bees. Because like I live in Hawley and a lot of this out here is tea tree and we like to have our natives and I was saying to you about, oh, I want to do this, this and this. And you said, because I'm actually cottage lover. I love cottage gardens. I love the look. I mean, mum was English, like maybe she, I love the colors, I love the smells. I'm very much somebody who loves it to be very kind of creative in the garden. And so sometimes I find natives a little bit like sticks a little bit. So I don't find them as soft, but there's obviously there's some out there that are beautiful. But you said for the bees to come, you also need to give them, I think you said maybe European, like a little bit of cottage garden.
The bees that we have that pollinate our food
Mm,
and pollinate the fodder for the animals that we eat are European bees.
yeah. So we need to give them European food.
They're going to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
When the floral season starts, as you may have noticed now, the silver wattles have started flowering.
Yeah.
For a bee, for a European honeybee, to come along and spend a full day collecting from those wattle trees is like us living on McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to
Yeah.
get initially. They're going to take back pollen, but it has very little proteins in it.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when I actually did go and buy stuff for the garden here,
Yeah.
I bought both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very important, to not just stick to one or the other, I believe. I believe to kind of, it's all about biodiversity, really. It's all about having the full scope of what your garden needs. And that's from under the ground, microbial way,
Hmm.
and all the insects that live under the ground, right through to bird life and plant life, all our marsupials, our bees, everything. There's a place for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ecosystem is so delicate, but was so perfect.
Yeah.
And now we've
We've
come in
messed
and
with
we've
it so
changed
much.
things so
Yeah.
much. And
Yeah.
um, and I just think, when we were growing up, who didn't have a vegetable garden?
Yeah.
Like it's something I'm hoping that the new kids, the new generation, when I just have to be a second and go and put on my just put my battery on. But if you could talk to me about if you about the cycles of the plants while I disappear for a second.
The cycles of plants.
Yes,
The
so
cycles of
like
plants.
why it's so because one of the questions is I find that the seasons are changing in Tasmania, not to say that it's the same everywhere else, but I'm finding that even my dad, who's an old farmer, he said that he thinks the seasons are out, and I really wanted to see if you had seen the same thing in your knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have noticed that. I mean, climate change is here. It's happening. So yeah, older gardeners will tell you to, oh, Joe, I've lost you. Are you back?
I'm back.
Older gardeners
It's
will
gone on.
often talk about dates. They'll say, dig up and divide your daffodils on around Christmas time, or plant these peas by a certain time, or put your potatoes in at a certain time, or start your tomatoes on this day. Dig up all your dahlias before Anzac Day, things like this. Dig up all your dahlia bulbs, all that kind of thing. Like, older gardeners will set a date to it, but those dates no longer apply.
Yeah. I mean, look, Dad's 85 and he just doesn't see it as it used to be. And
Yeah.
he's definitely not someone who thinks, the big conspiracy stuff that's happening, but he just said like from I mean, 85 years is a long time. And he's just noticed,
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, and I think it's important because the cycles tell us about the health of the planet.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's
and
exactly
then to
right.
lean that back into say women's wombs, like the moon cycle, and I think a lot of women, I have a lot come to me. I mean, just a segue into women's periods and menstruation,
Yeah.
they're all out of sync as well.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like I just think, yeah, I mean, as witches, we just know cycles are so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And where we fit in that in our own cycle, in
Yeah.
our
Well,
own cycle
yes.
where that fits.
I guess
Where we
as
fit
we're
where
becoming crones now, as we get a bit older.
yes. Bring on
Now,
my hag years.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Can't
need to
wait.
start calling them hag years because I feel like
Yeah,
that's got more power than crone. It's my hag years.
yeah. My hag years are upon me. I can't
Um,
wait.
and
Yeah,
I had a real luxury of being taken for a educational walk with Fiona Green, who actually is my ex sister-in-law. And she took me on this a track that I go on every single day at one stage. And she was like, "That's food, that's food, that's food," picking it off. And I was like oblivious. So I had so much ignorance. I had no idea that I was walking amongst so much potential food to be able to survive. And I
yeah.
think so much of that isn't taught anymore.
No, no.
And so it's great that educators like Fiona Green are coming up and allowing people like me to be able to experience these things so that, I do feel like I've got something to teach somebody else. Because now when I go for walks with people, I go,
Yeah,
"You can eat that. Oh,
can
you can
eat
eat that too.
that.
Taste this. This is really salty."
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
just found it exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. It is exciting. Getting back to what you were saying about how everybody used to have a vegetable garden,
Mm,
not everybody worked full time.
yeah, true.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort
Yes.
to live. I always say this one to people just to give them a little bit of a snapshot, as of what they're getting themselves into. You have to live in your vegetable garden to live from your vegetable garden, and it's
Yes.
often it's time. It's a time factor
Yeah.
for people, Um, yeah, just not having the time,
And
and
even if you look at that logically, I remember I was going to go around and get my vegetables from that person. I was going to do that there. And then in the end, you just go to the supermarket because it's
yeah,
quick and it's all there.
yeah,
So we're kind of creating our own,
yeah,
yeah, our own issues. Not to say that, not saying that
yeah,
supermarket isn't great food or anything, but
yeah,
it'd be nicer to support the locals. It'd be nicer to be getting it out of the soil because, like, the soil that we live about that comes into a house, I feel like then it'd be better for us because we're from this soil.
yeah.
So,
Breathing the
yeah,
same air, taking in the same water, all that kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. There's got to be room for failure, when you
mm,
start something new. And
yeah,
often I will see this with brand new gardeners, especially in the vegetable garden, like they give themselves such high standards,
mm,
and there's very little wriggle room for any failure. Like, oh well, I grew parsnips last year and I can't grow them this year, or
yeah,
I tried to grow them and they all died. It's such a
mm,
it's such an apprenticeship.
yeah, it is.
It
And
takes such skill.
absolutely. And also,
Mm.
I think too, like for me, it's memories. Like every Christmas, we would have our beans and we'd pick the
Yeah,
beans for Christmas, get the peas out of the pods.
yeah,
And so that memory's there for me. And there's nothing fresher and taste better than your own vegetables that are grown or your own plants or your own herbs. Although I wouldn't know what my strawberries taste like because I've been feeding all the possums for the last couple of years. So apparently they must be all right because I've never been
yeah,
able to have many of them.
yeah.
But I always had this kind of daydream or utopian energy that we all grow what we're good at and then we share it.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah,
a communal society where we all contribute to our strengths. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
ideally. Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, if you're not necessarily somebody who enjoys gardening, then you have something else that you could offer as well. I mean, we'll
absolutely.
probably get done for creating a society on bartering or actually sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I know. Yeah, that would be shut down pretty quickly, you think, Joe?
I know. So in the future, what kind of plans do you have?
Many, many plans. I have at the moment one foot in the northwest and
Yep.
one foot in the east at Swansea.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah, I'm hoping to wind up my cozy, comfortable little life here that I've spent so much time
Yeah.
cultivating
Yeah.
in the northwest, which I love so much. And yeah, I'm going to become an East Coast girl. So I'm going to pull up stumps and
Yeah.
I will live down there and
New ecosystem.
absolutely, it's going to be such a challenge because it's just so different down there. It's like venturing to another country in a way.
Yeah.
It's so lush and growthy up here, and we
Mm.
have plenty of that beautiful sideways rain, and down there they're rock farmers. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
Mm.
But I'm looking forward to the challenge. I feel like if I stay here in the northwest for much longer, moss will come and grow over me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's been a bit of a holding pattern for
Yeah.
myself, for a while, and I need some to be challenged,
Yeah.
personal challenge, and to uproot, my home, my workplace, my friendship circles, the landscape up here.
Yeah.
Will
And look,
be a
and
lot.
it's even though we say it's not very far away, what, 2.5 hours, it can
Mm.
feel like a world away.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of isolation there.
Yeah. And
Yeah, but
I really love the West Coast. I
oh
I
yeah.
wrote about it a lot in my book series,
Mm.
as I think because of it's so raw and there's just something so, I don't know. It's
It's just wild
it's
there.
wild.
It's
Yeah.
wild country. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
And I can see why these movies are being made there because of it.
Yeah.
And it's wild, with the wind constantly and it's raining constantly. And if you get one day, it's like the best day you've ever had because it's so hot.
Yeah.
But I feel like personality wise, you do get drawn to that landscape that kind of does suit you a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I always daydream about being completely hidden from society. I've got two personalities. It's one is like super social that wants to live in the middle of the
Yeah.
city,
Yeah.
right where the action is. And
Yes.
the other is I don't want to see humans for 6 months. So
Absolutely.
I'm always really torn between the two cultures. And I always thought, well, one day hopefully I'll have both.
Be able to experience both. I think
Yeah.
that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be
absolutely.
fantastic. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But I don't think there's a single place in Tasmania that I don't adore.
Yeah, true, true.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it all has its special little spaces. And I mean, just it's in Cradle Mountain. What is that beautiful? I can't think what it's called. It displays it once a year
Oh,
up in
the
Cradle.
not the Fagus gunny eye.
The Vegas,
The
yes.
Fagus, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I've never
absolutely.
seen it.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
No, not well. If I have, I
Oh,
was completely ignorant and walked clean
yeah.
past it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's on my to-do list as well as like the overland tracks on my to-do list too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's so much beauty in Tasmania, and I think we'll be sad to see you go to the East Coast because you've been such a important aspect of pagan and witchcraft community, and so I think I mean it's big shoes to fill to actually whoever's going to come in and take over from your spot.
There are so many people offering so much
Yeah.
in the Northwest. There are just so many. It's sort of like, you know, yeah, there is just so much.
Mm.
So, there's plenty on offer, and you'll just have to come down to the East Coast and visit me.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah, because get the warmth down there. But you are right. There is an amazing amount of
Yeah.
knowledge on the Northwest Coast, particularly,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't realize. I do
Yeah.
feel for me, it doesn't seem like it's hard to find, but then I forget that I was born and raised here.
Yeah.
But for someone who's coming to the Northwest, particularly, I feel like once they find you, or say Vicky, Vicky
Yeah.
Griffith, if everyone knows Vicky Griffith out there, soon as you kind of, or Jane, you start to meet these
Yeah.
people, Sarah and
Yeah.
Bernie, then they seem to be the links to everybody else. And
Yeah,
then I
that's
think
right.
anyone who feels a bit lonely on their spiritual path or pagan path or
Mm.
witchcraft path, there is just so many of us out there.
You are Each person on the Northwest Coast is not very far away from a drumming circle, a
No.
sacred dance, a Reiki room,
Mm.
a pagans in the pub. There is just so much going on. Am I able to talk to you, Joe, about an event that
Oh,
I'm putting on?
absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. We're really lucky. I am going to wind up my period of time that I'm spending in the Northwest, but I'm going to go out with a little bit of a bang, I think.
Oh,
I know, in September.
yay.
Yeah, in September on the 10th, which is a Thursday night.
Yes.
I've got a beautiful event planned, and it's a spring celebration.
Yeah.
And it's also our regular moot night, so our Pagans in the Pub moot night.
Yeah.
And we are lucky enough to get hold of Australian singer-songwriter Wendy Rule. I don't know if you've heard of Wendy
Ah,
Rule.
yes. Oh,
Yeah,
I think I saw you. I think I saw that advertised.
well, she resides in New Mexico, and she's over in Australia for a short amount of time, and she just adores Tasmania, and is going to come over and do a little bit of a gig session, do a tour,
Oh,
and
awesome.
yeah, contacted me and said, how do you think this will go? And I'm like, well, I reckon it'll go awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited. So we're going to kick off with a spring celebration and an open ceremony with everybody
Oh,
welcome. Yeah,
yes.
and we're going to have a beautiful dodgy raffle that's going to be extremely huge and involved. We're going to spring clean our houses and display them there for everybody to buy. A
Please
raffle
take
ticket
my
for
crap.
$1. Come and please take my crap away. Yeah, absolutely. And then and so if I can give you the link to that, and
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. And so Wendy Rule will start her concert on at 7:30,
Yep.
and it's $35 a ticket.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is
And it's
beautiful.
just she is just such an amazing she's just an amazing resource, really. She's
Yeah.
got so many different platforms, and she offers so much to the community. She's got her own podcast.
Oh,
Um,
fantastic.
yeah, light and dark with Wendy Rule, and
Yep.
just so much music and so much on offer. She often does courses and workshops and
Oh,
and
she
um,
sounds
she's
amazing.
she's been in the community for a long time, decades and decades. So yeah, and
Yeah.
she's fabulous. So we're really excited to have her over. We've had her over before, and
Yeah.
that was probably about 10 years ago. Yeah, so it'll
Yeah.
be lovely to have her back. And she really does. She's a cross between. I would say she's a folk singer.
Yep.
She's
Love
operatic,
folk singing.
and she's like a banshee. All in one.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely be there. And I will
Yeah,
advertise on Red Room as well as, and when this goes out on the 30th, I will link it to it. So that'll be it. But
yeah.
better wrap us up there because we've gone over the hour after saying, oh, usually
Ooh,
wrap us up about 50 minutes.
yeah.
And my apologies that my laptop decided to have a little bit of a turn. Uh, but thank you so much. And we, of course, wish you the best for the future.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Really excited for the
Thank you.
challenge.
Thank you, Beck. So
Thank you.
thank you, everyone who's been listening as well.